In 2013, as I was about to begin my student teaching experience, I decided that I was going to start a blog that I would update every day. And the title of that blog was, Can I Honestly Learn to Teach? Now, here we are, 12 years later, and I wanted to go back and find out, did I do it?
Hello. Today is Tuesday, February 25th, and it's a bad day because my camera definitely stopped working and I can turn it on, but it'll turn back off after like a second. Bad day. Look, it's gonna go off. Gonna go off. But anyway, it's a bad day. It's just one of those days where everything's just piling up and I feel like how can I do it all? It's just like field trips and dental screenings and assemblies and fire drills and fun, like stuff that's fun for the kids. Like we're adding another field trip, and it's just like, how can I freaking manage it all? Meet IEP meetings, and like this is one of those weeks where I'm like, oh my God. And then like I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing wrong sometimes. It's like I feel like it's going okay, and then some stuff, it's just stuff's not clicking. There's work to do piling up. Kids aren't doing their homework, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. I know some people would say you shouldn't assign homework, but I feel like they're going to middle school. Like they're gonna have homework. I can't not like hold them accountable for getting their homework done. And it's just like, I don't know, there's just stuff everywhere. And I'm like, today was just one of those days where I'm like, any little thing set me off. Like it's just a bad freaking day. It's just a bad day. God, I have a billion tabs open on my computer, billion tabs open in my brain. What am I doing? All right. Just in a bad mood. And it's not going to get any better. Just try again tomorrow. Okay, February 25th, 12 years ago. Well, here we are, week 7. This week marks the halfway point in my student teaching. It doesn't feel like we've finished 6 weeks so far, but we have. I thought it was going to feel much longer. In all actuality, 31 days doesn't really sound like a lot. Sure sounds a lot less than 6 weeks, but it has been quite the journey so far. Today was a very strange day. It was pouring rain on the way to school this morning, which made highway driving exciting with all the semis throwing waves onto the windshield. Oh, yeah, because it was a 2-lane highway. So if the semis come in the other direction, you just had to grip the wheel and pray because like no, there's no other lane to go into. But other than that, the weather didn't seem too intimidating. But then on the radio on the way home, we heard that OSU was closing at 12:30, which means we had to go home at 12:30 too. The liability, we can't be at our site if the college is closed. I was very shocked. Last Thursday, there was actual snow on the ground and OSU was open. But here we are with no snow, no ice. It's not even raining anymore. And we've preemptively shut down the entire campus. Apparently, the snow is coming in tonight, but this seemed kind of extreme. Luckily, I got all of my teaching done this morning and I didn't miss out on anything this afternoon after we left. I'm just praying school isn't canceled tomorrow because Tuesdays are big teaching days for me. Everyone is convinced that we are going to have another snow day, but once again, I'm hoping this is not the case. I just want to go to school and get it done. I haven't been very productive this afternoon. Erin told me to come home and relax. I think her actual words were, do something fun, because she knows that I always do homework in my free time. I'm a little worried because I don't even know what to do to have fun these days. I actually find myself feeling bad right now because I didn't get anything done since I got home about 2 hours ago. I have things to do. I always have things to do, but I didn't do them. I will tonight, I'm sure. The weather is getting a little darker outside, so I'm worrying that this impending storm is closing in. I think I hear hail slash sleet slash something hitting the window. Hopefully, my entry tomorrow doesn't begin with, well, school was canceled. I so want to look ahead and see if it does start that way, but I won't. Um, yeah, okay. I have like 45 minutes before I need to rush off to get my daughter to her acting class. And I want to be really productive and not just sit here and wallow. My camera is staying on, so That's a fun little treat because a few minutes ago it was just on, off, on, off. And then, of course, I put in a ticket for IT and they're going to show up and be like, what's wrong? It's fine. Uh, Maybe it's because I put in the ticket and the computer saw that I put in the ticket and it was like, no, wait, no, I'm not sick, I promise. Um, okay, yeah, I want to be productive. I just have a million things to do. And to be honest, I know how to fix this is to take my computer home and like work on it in the evening. Because in the evening after the kids go to bed, I can be very like productive and I can check stuff off my list. I just really don't want to, but I probably will feel better in the end if I just go ahead and do that. I'm not doing it tomorrow because tomorrow is the Survivor season 48 premiere. So I'm not doing it tomorrow. So I guess I can do it tonight. I guess I can do it tonight. It'll probably make me it'll make me more like relaxed tomorrow because tomorrow I have a school improvement team meeting. What's this? February. So I have February and I have March, April, May. So I've only got 4 more. After tomorrow, I'll only have 3 more. So yeah, I'm not gonna have a lot of time after school tomorrow to do stuff. So I should just take my computer and do it tonight. I don't want to, but I will. I'll channel myself from 12 years ago and do homework tonight and not have any fun. And know that this means I will get to have more fun, hopefully, the rest of the week. Bye. Today is Wednesday, February 26th. It was a bad freaking day. It was a bad day. I just feel so incompetent. I don't, I can't, I'm not doing it all. It seems like people are doing more. I don't know how they're getting it all done. I just kids being so mean to each other, getting in fights, just being so disrespectful. Even the one, like, just even the work, I feel like they're not like learning what I'm trying to teach them. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Freaking pack up all my scissors because kids are like cutting their hair in class. Like, what is happening? And this week has just had a lot of like, I don't know, little routine shakeups. Like, I'm barely, as is evidenced by my, reflections at the end of each day, barely getting by. Today, I spent longer on social studies, so we didn't get to writing. Like, I can't do it all. I can't. And then it's like every freaking day this week, it's been something. Yesterday, we had this like last minute assembly. Today, I had to take all of the fifth graders to get screened by a dentist. Like, it's just like one of those things when you're in fifth grade, like they check your mouth to see if you have cavities or whatever. There was a fire drill this morning. I have an IP meeting tomorrow. I have on Friday, we have another little assembly. Like barely keeping it together. Like, I don't know what to do. Like every freaking day, it's like something else, something else. I don't, and I'm just so, I don't know, just so frustrated because stuff just piles on and everything feels like, oh, it's just like one little thing. Like, can you do this? Do this, do this, do this. I don't even have time to like freaking teach them how to do long division. I'm trying. We don't have enough time. So every day, like math just ends. I still don't know how to do it. this is the final straw. Series. Like that really put me over the edge today. To be like, okay, now I have a report that I have to like message parents because they're cutting each other's hair in class. First of all, I feel stupid because like how did I not see it? I think it was happening when we were like packing up. And I was trying to like, okay, so now I have to hide all the scissors. I don't I know they're 11. 11-year-olds don't have a lot of impulse control, and the peer relationships are really important to them right now. So any chance they have to, any little bit of like dirt or gossip, they want to like go tell their friends, and rumors spread very easily in the fifth grade because people love to be all up in everybody's business. That's how it always goes. And I know this logically. I know this. But my lizard brain went into flight or fight at recess when it found out that not only am I trying to like grade all their science tests and do all their progress reports, and no, this is like one more thing, like one more thing. And then like sending messages to parents. I'm so sorry, your kid cut their hair in class today. Like I'm hiding the scissors. Apologies. I'm in like my heart's beating. Like I'm in my, what do you call it, limbic state right now or whatever. The part where you can't like, you also can't think rationally. We had another teacher resign. My camera's working now. So that's cool. I don't, so when IT emails me back, I'd be like, never mind. I have the proof though. I have the receipts. It was being weird. I went back and watched the video and it's like, okay. Oh my God. Let's see if I had a better day 12 years ago. Okay, so I had left off with I hoped that school wasn't canceled. Let's see, moving on to the next day. Well, obviously, I'm terrible at predicting what weather will do, or rather, what schools will do when it comes to weather. Cushing was open today, but OSU was closed. I did not see that one coming. Cushing was the elementary school I was at. OSU. I felt like colleges never used to close. Now they'd be closing left and right. That made today's snow day all the more frustrating. My teacher was at school and my kids were at school, but I couldn't be there. Luckily, I left all my teaching things there for Aaron to use today, but I still really wanted to be there. Tuesdays are a busy day, so I was disappointed to miss it. I'm sure like they were annoyed too. It wasn't our fault. Like we literally weren't allowed to go. But if I had a student teacher who was like, I can't come to school today because it snowed, I'd be like, okay, but I'm here. We have to make this day up at the end of the semester. Ooh, which I know is really bothering some of the other student teachers, but it doesn't make a difference to me. I'm sticking around this summer and I'm not walking at graduation, so this semester doesn't necessarily need to end for me after May 4th. May 4th. Oh, so when this is over, I'm still gonna have 5 weeks to go. Oh, by the time I finish going through all this, we won't even have freaking gone on our big end of the year field trip that happens actually 4 weeks before the end of the year. I'm sure I'll appreciate one more day with the kiddos when the time comes. I know I keep saying I just want to put in my hours, but that sounds terrible. I really am enjoying the semester, and I know I'm going to miss it when it's over. I knew you would. Today I was going to do homework all day, but I'm finding that there are fewer and fewer things for me to do. Ew, my unit is a month away and I've got everything I can get done this far in advance. I know that once I get into it, I will have things to do each night, but as of right now, I've got all my lesson plans done for the next few weeks anyway. I've written the rest of my papers for my graduate class. I've done my second teaching philosophy, and I've honestly run out of things to do. Teaching philosophy. Oh my gosh. I'm sure I have that saved somewhere because I saved all my digital stuff. I actually saved all of my paper stuff from college for a very long time. I finally threw it away when we moved into the house we're in currently, which was in 2020. So I kept everything from college. I had binders and like expandable file folders. I had it all, every article, every paper, everything that was like printed out, hard copy. I kept it. I finally threw it all away 5 years ago. and I kept it for 7 years. But I still have all the digital stuff somewhere, and I would love slash hate to read what I thought my philosophy of teaching was. And honestly, I think for teacher of the year, for like the district teacher of the year, I have to write another philosophy of teaching or like something to that effect. Oh, that's nothing I really don't want to do. And like I don't have to. I don't have to, but I will. I will. God, I just don't feel like a teacher of the year. I feel like a shitty teacher. It's a weird feeling to want to be productive, but to not have anything to do. Ugh, can't relate. I do not like it. Usually I work so far ahead that by the time April rolls around, I'm legitimately completely finished for the semester. Right now, I'm just in kind of a lull. I definitely do not want any more snow days because I don't have enough to keep me occupied during them. I'm sure we're done by now. And now that I've said that, of course, a blizzard is probably going to hit us next week. I just can't ever get a win when it comes to weather. Okay, 25 minutes. Need to like calm down. Try and get some stuff done. I can't stay. I can't stay when the meeting's over because I have to race out of here to get my daughter from daycare on time. I want to just sit in the dark. I can't do that. Yeah, I feel like a really bad teacher this week. Today, Thursday, February 27th. My God, it was a good day. It was a good day. Not all of it was good. Some bad stuff still happened today. Still had kids being mean to each other, kids getting called down to the office to deal with extracurricular concerns, friend drama. We didn't get everything done. I'm sure there's something I was supposed to do today that I forgot to do. But I just like, my chest doesn't feel heavy today. I feel a weight like released. I had an IEP meeting after school that went on for an hour and a half, and I left it feeling like good. Like I just feel today, I just feel like I'm doing something right. I was like crying yesterday because they couldn't do long division. They were like getting them all wrong. They brought back their homework. They did really well in class. They did really well today. I'm like, maybe we've turned a corner. Maybe tomorrow will be sucky again. I don't know. But today I just feel like a weight off my chest. I'm going to try and leave here soon so I can swing by the post office. My husband comes back tonight. Not tonight. Tonight is the last night that my husband's not here. He comes back tomorrow. Like, I want to go home, just breathe. I'm taking my computer home because I got some things to do, but like, I figured out some stuff about the field trip today. I just like, I don't know. Yeah, I feel a weight lifted today. I can't explain it. I hope it lasts. All right, let's see how I was feeling 12 years ago. Oops, I need to, this is the wrong week. Okay, let's see. It's day, oh, even this is the wrong week. We're on day 33. Day 33. Okay. It is good to be back. Oh, yeah, I had a snow day yesterday. Today was an awesome day. I can't pinpoint any one thing that made it so good, but I got home from class tonight and I just thought, wow, today was great. It's a good feeling. Oh my God. It's literally the same. I don't know. I don't know. I just like, it's just like, I'm feeling good right now. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh. I was even kind of looking forward to class tonight. Kind of. I'm such a dork. I loved going to class. The topic was grade retention, and I was very interested to see what everyone else had to say about it. Aaron and I have been talking about it for a few weeks now, off and on, and I'm really enjoying it. I really like to see the balance between theory and practice, and I think it is important to see how they fit together. I'm really glad that I'm taking this class while being at my field site because it gives me the chance to learn about things theoretically and in research, and then talk about them with an experienced teacher who deals with them on a daily basis. I love it. This also, the next year because this is year one of my master's, and then the next year I was in year two and I was going to class, but also then I was the one who was like doing it. And I felt like there was a stark difference. I think everyone but me actually decided to hold off on getting like a full-time teaching job until they finished the master. They just like stayed like with whatever job they had in college or whatever. They just like took a little gap year, but it wasn't a gap because we still were in like a full course load of master's work, 3 classes, like 3 nights a week. But I went ahead and like got, a teaching job. So I remember feeling the difference there between like, oh, we read about these stuff, like this is best practice, this is theory, this is how it should be. And then the reality of it is like, hmm, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. This morning, I felt really disconnected and lost after having the snow day yesterday. Ugh, yeah. But I got back into the swing of things. My biggest problem today was math. I have always been terrible, in my opinion, at teaching math to others, from children all the way up to my peers in college. I just can't ever seem to smoothly explain myself. I get math, always have, but I am just really bad at helping others to get it. I know how to do it the way I know how, and if someone doesn't get it that way, I have a hard time explaining it a different way. I've gotten a lot better at this. I've gotten a lot better. I'm really good at teaching math now. Just pretend like I wasn't crying about it yesterday. Like I'm good at teaching math but it took time to learn all the different strategies and like feel comfortable explaining them and getting kids to try them and kind of learning generally what fifth graders are kind of drawn to. Um, it just took time, but I'm good at it now. I'm good at it now. That doesn't even begin to cover how to teach someone something for the very first time. I'm freaking out a little bit over this because I want to explain things to them clearly so that they'll understand. And I worry that I haven't or that I can't. I Teaching math to kindergartners is hard because like they don't know anything or they know stuff. Like they come in already knowing stuff and there's like this huge gap. Teaching math to fifth graders, I mean like we do some hard math, but by the time we get to fifth grade, they've got some foundation, and a lot of the math we're doing is like old school math. I told the parents like the way you learn to multiply, that's how we're doing it in fifth grade. The way you learn long division, doing it. Okay, so I think for some families it's like a sense of relief because they've built up the foundational stuff I that we like learned as kids, but it was just like you don't remember learning it, so it feels really weird. But yeah, I didn't love teaching math for kinder. I remember something that happened when I was teaching math to kindergartners. I'm sure I'll talk about it. I mean, I like it's burned into my brain, so I'm sure it's coming up. I just don't know when. I want to explain things to them clearly so they'll understand. I worry that I haven't or that I can't. I know that I can do this. I just need to figure out how. It's the one place that I'm really, really unconfident in my teaching abilities. How hilarious, because it quickly switched to I felt good about math and I hated reading, like once I became a real teacher. It's something I'm working on and I'm getting help with. Hopefully, over the next week, I will feel better about it. Other than that, today was close to perfect. I cannot believe how good I feel right now. Oh, same. I'm caught up on homework and lesson plans. Not same, but that's okay. I actually had a lot of fun in class tonight. I really love to debate things. I do. Not anymore. Leave me alone. And I had a good day at my field site. I wish every day could be like this one. Same. Same. Please let tomorrow, please, please, please let tomorrow be the same. Now, tomorrow we do, you know what? Today I didn't have an interrupted schedule for the first time this week. Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe that had something to do with it. Because tomorrow I got another assembly in the morning. So we'll see if that kicks us off to a bad start. But today was mine. Today was all mine to do whatever I wanted to do. And we got some stuff done today. But tomorrow's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I know it. I feel it. Hi there. It is Friday, February 28th. You've made it through February. What a hell of a month. I felt like it started so strong. No, really devolved last week with the snow, and then this week was just like a horrible week until, well, at least the first half of the week was bad. But today was a good day. Science Olympiad, I went into it just feeling like so cranky because it was an okay day in class. I had a lot of kids absent, but we got a lot done today. Like I would say it was a pretty good day of like instruction. I felt pretty good about it. At recess, there were some issues that kind of like killed my vibe. So I was not feeling it coming to Science Olympiad. I was just like, oh, I really don't want to do this. And then, kind of like with the sim meeting on Wednesday, I really didn't want to do that. And then it sort of like lifted my spirits. That the kids were like excited. They were working hard. They were listening. They were like working on their events, and there was a lot of like excitement being built. So I'm like, okay, we're ending on a high note. My classroom is clean. I have everything printed for next week, pretty much. I am gonna come in this weekend, honestly, because I like need to work on my teacher of the year stuff, and I'm more productive here than at my house. Because here it's like quiet and my TV's not here, like I'll be productive. But yeah, it was a good day, and I feel pretty like if I didn't come in this weekend, I still feel like I'm pretty like ready for next week. So really I just need to come in and like work on not work stuff. And I really need to work on national board. I did pay for it, so I'm committed. Today was the payment deadline. I paid it like a week ago. So I really have to do it. So now I need to buckle in and be like, okay, you're spending. It was like $500. I don't know why I thought it was closer to 1,000. So I'm glad it's not, but it was like over $500. Like money's on the line now. Like get it together. So sometimes I reserve a room at the public library. You can get it for like 2 hours, and I go in and do it there. And there it's even like more structured because then I can't even like here in my classroom, I can get distracted like, oh, I need to like restock my sticker store and like, oh, print the calendar and stuff. Like at the library, I'm just like in a room that's pretty much like empty, except for a table and me. And I would like really focus on. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. But yeah, strong start to the week. I guess I don't know for sure, but I have to assume my husband is home because his plane was supposed to land this afternoon. I have not had a moment to like call him or anything, but um yeah, I'm like ready for this weekend. I need a reset, a hard reset, and come back next week strong. Okay, let's see what was going on 12 years ago. Day 34. Oh no. Math is my enemy, math is my enemy, math is my enemy. Woo. There. I said it so I can deal with it. Math was a nightmare today. I think a lot of it had to do with today being dress up as your favorite Dr. Seuss character day, as the children were all in costume and looked adorable, by the way, and were way more focused on that than math. Oh, the double-edged sword of dress up days. Actually, it's kind of a single-edged sword for me because I freaking hate dress up days, but they're like fun. Next week is Read Across America, so we're doing a little like dress up thing, but I'm like, eh, it's fine. It's fine. I am so thankful that I get to do it twice a day because the afternoon went much smoother than the morning. Aaron helped and reassured me that it's going to get better, but it's still pretty disheartening. Other than that, today went okay. It wasn't as great as yesterday, but it was okay. The kids finally got to go outside for afternoon recess, which was a lifesaver. I'm just ready for it to warm up so we can get 2 recesses a day. We really need it. I remember they were shorter. It wasn't 2 sets, 2 full 30 minutes. I think it was 2 15s, maybe 2 20s. Um, And I don't remember, I wish I remembered more of like the details. I don't remember, like I said, they napped. They had 2 recesses. They went to PE every day and then sometimes another special, but I still felt like we taught them a lot of stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why it feels like I never have enough time to do anything, but I had felt like I had so much time back then. I mean, kindergarten and fifth grade are different, but I think even in kindergarten, they would say like they don't have time to nap. Maybe, I don't know. I don't teach kindergarten. Maybe they would. I am so ready for this weekend. Same, although this was only a Thursday. Last weekend, I didn't do any homework since I was out of town. So this weekend, I want to get a lot done. Aaron, among others, is always telling me to relax on the weekends, but I really feel good when I get everything done early and don't have to worry about it all week. Hasn't changed. Going to bed at 10 o'clock has been my friend, and I want to keep up with it. I definitely need it. Oh, I say, I'm saying that because like that's early to go to bed. And now I'm like, if I'm still up at 10, I'm like, crap. Uh-oh, you messed up. Go to, you should have been asleep already. Tomorrow is our last dress up day. This week has been fun, but it's also added to the craziness of my student teaching. I think that a lot of us, okay, probably all of us, are looking forward to spring break. There are only 2 school weeks left, and then I plan to be very productive over that week off. I'm like not even being extra for the sake of the blog. This is really how I was slash still am. Spring break, 2 school weeks. I have four, right? The week of the 3rd, 10th. Yeah, I have 4 school weeks till spring break. Boo. End of March. Although sometimes it's even, no, I guess it's usually not much later than this. Sometimes it's a week earlier, but I feel like for the last few years, it's pretty consistently been the end of March. They used to fold it into Easter. So like whenever Easter was, that's when spring break was. And then sometime, I don't really know how Easter works, but one year it was like crazy. Like sometimes it's in April, but it's like one time I feel like it was in like late April, maybe late April. And we were like, okay, we cannot put spring break in mid-April. Like that's too much. So now I think we just like do the last week of March and then Easter, usually we get like a 3-day weekend for Easter. We will see what tomorrow brings. We are having a guest reader, a special snack, I don't know what that means, and a dental health visit to make up for the one that was canceled last week for the snow day. It should be exciting. I remember that. I think a dentist or a dental hygienist came in to talk to the kids. Okay, let's see. It's 4:27. I kind of want to get out of here. I feel really good. I want to ride this into the weekend and um, hope that next week brings positivity. Because there was a lot of bad stuff happened this week. And I don't think it's all going to be magically fixed next week. But I'm trying to see if I can magically fix my attitude for next week. And maybe that will change the way things go. We'll see. If my attitude could change the way things went, I would be so happy all the time because then everything would be going well. But such is life. It doesn't work that way. Bye. Today is Tuesday. Oh my gosh, no, today's Monday. It's because I keep changing the date on the board for tomorrow before I record this video. Today is Monday, March 3rd. My webcam is totally fine. On Friday, the like IT guy for the district showed up and he was like, "You submitted a ticket about your webcam?" I'm like, I guess it's over. I guess it got over it. I don't know what the problem was, but it's fine. So he did not take my computer away because he was going to take my computer to fix it. I'm like, I would really rather not deal with this. It seems like it's fine. Today was a good day. It was a good day. We're starting this week much stronger than we started last week. The kids were pretty focused today. We got a lot of stuff done. Um, so that's good. Yeah. I hope the week progresses to be much the same. I've also been super productive after school. I've been doing like science Olympiad stuff, frog dissection stuff. Like I'm just rocking and rolling. I gotta leave here in about, I don't know, 40 minutes or so to run home, get the little one, to run back, get the big one, to go to softball practice. So it's like busy, and I still need to write my freaking Teacher of the Year essays. So I probably should be panicking, but I work best under pressure. I productively procrastinate by doing everything else I can think of that isn't the thing I should be doing. And then I know I'm still going to get the thing I should be doing done because I get everything done when I'm supposed to. And the plus side is then I also have all this other stuff done. So like I graded every single piece of writing that the students have turned in over the last like week that I'm always like, that's always my worst. Is like, oh, grading the paragraphs and stuff. All done. All done. I graded it because I didn't want to write my essay. And now it's done and I still have to write my essay. So it all works out. I feel like it's the most convenient way of procrastinating. All right. Today is March. Oh, that's right, because of the weekend. So 12 years ago, it was actually March 1st, day 35. And so ends the craziest week to date. The kids were bananas today. Absolutely insane. This week was fun for them, but it was hard for us as teachers. We had an assembly every day. We had an extra assembly today. The kids were dressed up wackily every day. They had to have indoor recess every day. I can only hope and pray that next week is a much better one than this one. Oh, that's right. I think it was like right across America. We're also doing dress up, but we're doing like real chill. But today was like books take you places. So like wear a shirt from a vacation you went on. So I'm like wearing my shirt from New Orleans. Um, but yeah, that sounds chaotic. I can only hope and pray the next week is better than this one. Okay. Missing a day and a half for me didn't help, and I'm sure it made things more difficult for Aaron too. Luckily, I was back before Jenny got sick Wednesday, and so it was never just one teacher in the room with all 26 kids. Wow, 26. That's so many for kindergarten. That's too many. That's too many. That's a lot. I forgot that it was such a big class. I am ready for spring break. Same. I am definitely excited for the week off, but I'm also really excited to do my unit. I'm partly excited because I want to see how it goes, and if I can successfully teach everything I want to teach them, you never can. There's never time. And partly, well, mostly excited because once I finish it, I am on the downhill slide. I immediately start giving back control of the classroom over the final 4 weeks, and I get closer and closer to graduation and throwing myself fully into my graduate studies and getting married, smiley face. Throwing myself fully into my graduate studies. I feel like at this point, I thought I was not gonna get a job. I thought I was gonna just like do grad school full time or maybe do like a little, well, you'll see. I thought I was gonna do a part-time job, but it didn't work out that way. This is going to be a very interesting next couple of months. Graduation is 2 months away. It sounds unbelievable. I've been working for this for the last 4 years, and now we're down to 2 months. It is so crazy to think about. I feel like it hasn't been that long, and yet at the same time, I know it has. I am so ready to finally have that teaching degree. And my Oklahoma teaching degree finally expired, and I did not renew it. It must have been worth longer than 5 years because it definitely expired. It didn't expire 7 years ago, but I thought I like there was a thought in my mind like, oh, should I like keep my Oklahoma one current? Like you just have to like send in paperwork and stuff. Like, should I keep it current even though I'm gonna no, babe. No, we're not teaching in Oklahoma. Okay. Off the table. So if I ever have to go back, they'll take me. You don't even have to I'll have a teaching certificate. You don't even need one of those to teach in Oklahoma. So no, North Carolina is all I have right now. This weekend, I'm actually going to relax and have some fun, just like everyone is always telling me to do. Of course, I still have a to-do list with a bunch of things on it, but I think I can knock them out tonight and Sunday, which means I get to actually be a normal human being for a day tomorrow. We'll see if I like it. 12 years later, I feel like I found the balance. Like, yeah, I came to the school yesterday for 3 hours, and a lot of people would say, like, don't do that, like, don't work outside your contract hours, like, you're hurting everybody, but like I'm not doing it for y'all. I'm not doing it to impress anybody. I'm not doing it, I do it for me. I feel better when I get to come in because we all have to do lesson plans. And anyone who says they don't work a second outside of contract hours, there's no way, unless you're just like not getting it all done. I don't think it's possible. There are some weeks when I'm like really productive during contract hours and I don't have much to do. On Sunday, I felt like I had a lot. I wanted to grade stuff. I wanted to clean a little bit, reorganize the room. So I came in for 3 hours. That sounds like a lot. It was glorious. I do it for me. Me. So I don't care if anybody thinks like I shouldn't be doing that. I feel good. And I remember when I was a beginning teacher, I would do kind of the same thing, like I'd stay late or I'd come in on a weekend or whatever. People would say, like, don't do that, like protect your time, blah, blah, blah. I like it. I'm having a good time. I love being in this classroom by myself, listening to my podcasts and doing all the stuff I need to get done. I love it. So mind your business. I like coming in on the weekends, and that's why I do it. I try not to do it every weekend, but every so often, it's good for me. I like it. Let people live, please. Thank you. Hey, today is Tuesday, March 4th. 2025, and I feel like today it had the makings of being a really good day. I feel like it started really good. We took a math test. The kids were doing really well on it. Like they did overall really well. They went to PE and there was a sub today and they just like it sounded chaotic. I come back to my room and they're just like so much happened that they clearly needed to like debrief it. 25 minutes, 25 minutes of like going around the room so everyone could like speak their piece, tell me what happens, we could talk through. Kids were, oh my gosh, are you serious, camera? Kids were admitting again, like, okay, yes, I did throw the ball at this person's face. Like, oh my God. Happening after I sent the guy, I told him that my webcam was fine yesterday. Oh, please. It's gonna turn off again. He's gonna be mad at me when he has to come back out and be like, just kidding. I'm sorry. Um, and it's like a Tuesday, it happens on Tuesdays. But yeah, so we had to spend so long just like airing it all out. And I'm glad we did it. Like I felt good about having the conversation about taking accountability for things and some things can be accidents and still preventable. Like I'm sure you didn't mean to injure someone, but when you chose to pick up the ball and throw it in the vicinity of their head, that was a preventable consequence, right? You could have just not done that. You could have not thrown it anywhere near them. Oh, my aim's not that good. Neither is mine. That's why I don't pick up balls and throw them overhand near anybody in the world because I know I might hit them, right? If I had perfect aim, I wouldn't do that because, you know. So, yeah, it was just, I don't know, that kind of brought me down, but then I felt good. Like I felt like we talked it through. We, like moved forward. They took their math test. They did great. It's going well. And then this afternoon, it just really fell apart. I just have like a couple of kids who are just really struggling with the amounts that I'm expecting of them, like the expectations of holding them to. And I provide a lot of like scaffold, like support and time. And it's just, everything is just, so much comes down to choices, time management, these like executive functioning skills that are hard for some of these kids. And I just feel so torn because to provide them the most support means sitting with them and walking them through every single step and not leaving their side because if I do, then nothing will happen while I'm gone. I'm just going to keep talking even though my face isn't here. Um, and I can't do that for all of them because I was trying. I was really trying. They were all in the same area and I kept bouncing back and forth, but I bounce away from someone. I come back. Nothing's done. I just feel like I'm failing them. I feel like I'm failing them. But also I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like it feels out of my control. The fact that like their just executive functioning skills are so poor. Like they're not at a developmentally appropriate level. They're below what you would expect of an 11-year-old. I feel like it's reasonable to expect an 11-year-old to be able to like follow two-step directions, like get your book and then go sit down. So they're performing, they're like developmentally below expectations for like just executive functioning, following directions. And I can recognize this, and I can recognize that it's not entirely their fault. It's not my fault. And yet I feel responsible. I, I don't know, like I just feel like I'm failing some of them, that I'm not getting them ready for middle school where the need for executive functioning is going to be at an all-time high. I don't know. I can't get my camera to turn back on. So I'll just, oh, this is my math quiz that I'm making a retake version for the couple of kids who didn't get it. Okay, I don't really know. Yeah, look, I keep turning off. Yeah, okay, I guess my webcam is tired. Maybe it just gets tired. Okay. I just don't know. I would say like today ended up being a bad day. And I'm bummed because I felt like it had all the makings of being a good day. And then it just fell apart. And I don't really know what I did wrong. And I don't really know, like, I don't know. It just, yeah, I don't know. 12 years ago, I had a pretty good day. It went by quickly, which is always nice. The best part of today was that math went really well. I tossed the Saxon math lesson plan out the window and did my own thing. I'd already lesson planned for it, so I wasn't just pulling it out of thin air. I created a smartboard page, made it all interactive, and did it with both classes today. Erin complimented me and said she really liked the modifications that I had made. It was exciting, especially since math is my nightmare. Have I mentioned that before? Today was also fun because I did my oceans pre-assessment. I had a blank map with 5 places marked, one on each ocean, and the names of the oceans cut out on different colored pieces of paper. I had the children go through them one at a time and put them where they thought they belonged. I emphasized that I didn't expect them to know all of the answers yet since I haven't taught them anything about oceans. They really did try hard on the pre-assessment. Afterwards, I noticed that a whole lot of them put the Arctic Ocean down at the bottom, and I realized they had just done a penguin unit before I got there, and so they connected Arctic with Antarctica and knew that penguins live at the South Pole, or Antarctica. It was pretty clever and showed good critical thinking skills, even though it was still wrong. I'll have to make sure to talk about the difference between the two places explicitly when I start my unit. In the end, most of them placed 0 correctly, a few placed 1, and one child placed 2 correctly. I'm pleased because this leaves a lot of room for improvement. I think that once I teach them the song and we practice over and over, they will all show marked improvement by the end of the unit. I'm very excited to see how they grow over the next month. I'm aiming to finish most, if not all, of my lesson plans this week. I have half of next week's plans done, and I want to finish at least opening, journaling, handwriting, math, and reading for the next 6 weeks. I'm saving planning rotations because those depend on how the children are doing and what we need practice with. So it's best not to plan those well ahead of time. But the rest of them are pretty straightforward, and I just need to put it all onto writing. That is my project for the week. We'll see how my progress is coming when Friday rolls around. All right. Well, I can't get my camera to turn back on. So I guess I'll just end this there and say that I hope tomorrow goes well. Okay, my camera's working, so I'm going to take advantage of this while it lasts. I think sometimes she gets sleepy. I think if I use my dot cam like a lot in the afternoon, my camera gets sleepy. She turns off. But I didn't use my dot cam very much after lunch today, so maybe that's a good sign. Today was book character day, so I am Miss Frizzle. Lots of kids recognize me today, so I was like, okay, mission accomplished. Not a lot of kids dressed up today, but we did have a couple Harry Potters. We had a Nancy Drew, so that was cute. I feel like today was a good day. It was raining like bananas today. We were under a tornado watch. Some kids didn't come to school. Well, one kid didn't come to school because of the weather. I was like, I mean, whatever. Like, it's just a watch, but it's okay. Some people like are freaked out by tornadoes. And then 2 more were sick. So I had 3 absent, which normally I'm like, oh, how am I going to make it up? But 2 of them, their parents grabbed the work that we did today. So I'm hoping that they come tomorrow and have done it, and that would be incredible. I have a meeting in 15 minutes to like plan a PD. A bunch of people are like bailing on it, so it might just be me, which to be honest, if it's just me, it's not the worst thing because then I can just like do it later, like tonight, late at night, and like just like bang it out. But if people come, that's great. Like I'll take the help, I'll take the ideas. I don't know, I feel kind of rambly, but it it was a good day. It was fun. Yeah, it was good. I had double planning today, which is like maybe that's why I feel so good because I was able to get some stuff done with that little extra 30 minutes. Because during real planning, had a meeting today, but then I got to make it up, like do like my stuff during planning, and that helped. All right, let's see. I don't have 10,000 tabs open today. Oh, good. It's March 5th. Oh, I forgot to say that at the beginning. Today is Wednesday, March 5th. I just like dove right in. All right, so 12 years ago, it was Tuesday, March 5th. Today was a fantastic day. I don't know quite what it was, but I am just feeling in that really good mood again. Same. The kids were a little wild today, but I did not let it bring me down. Math went pretty well, and I cannot get over how amazing it is to get to teach it twice a day. The afternoon session is always better. I feel a little bad for my kids since they get the worst of it each day, but I'm thankful that I get that chance to practice some more. One of the best parts today was journaling. Usually, I come up with an appropriate prompt for whatever we are learning about that week, and I put a sentence starter on the board, like, I love dot, 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 and then have them finish the sentence. Today, however, I didn't use a sentence starter. I just asked them to tell me what they wanted to be when they grew up. They really ran with it. I was so excited, and Aaron was too. Their illustrations were fantastic, and they are getting so much better at sounding words out. I took a picture of each one of their entries. All 26 were here again today because I'm just so proud of them. Here are a few of my favorites. I want to be a cop. Oh, I wish I could remember who said what. I kind of feel like I do remember the kid who said this. I don't know why, but kind of feel like I do. I want to be a chef. Oh, look at that picture. That's so good. Look on the little hat. I want to be a veterinarian. I would like to be a veterinarian. Cute. I'm going to be a nurse. Oh, she's like a little stethoscope. I want to be a vet. Bee is a tricky word. It does sound like it has a Y at the end. Bee. This is why I don't teach kindergarten. Because I'm like, how do I explain that it doesn't? I don't know. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. When I grow up, I want to be a policeman. Look, he's got angry eyebrows and a gun. Goodness gracious. Is that what is that XX? Oh, wait, no. Wait, no. I was like, wait, is that the bad guy or the policeman? What's he holding? Is he holding a knife? Why is this sad person? Is that person being arrested? I'm not sure what's going on there. They're just so adorable. I want to put them all here, but it would just be too long. And I wonder if those photos have probably been lost to Jeff Bezos's internet. Who knows where that all is now. All right. 10 minutes. Should probably run downstairs. I think I'm probably feeling pretty hot because it's also Wednesday. So I get to go home, relax, like no activities. Like Monday night was softball practice from 6 to 7:30. It was so late and it was so cold. And then Tuesday is acting, so we don't get home until 6. But now it's like I can kind of take my time. We can go home instead of like I feel like the last 2 days we get home and immediately I'm like, take a bath, eat dinner, go to bed. Blah. So now it's like we have some time. We can like play, relax. I'm gonna make them pasta for dinner, and then when they go to bed, I'm gonna freaking order myself Chinese food and watch Survivor because tonight is about me. Last night I did 2 of my Teacher of the Year essays out of 5, the long one and then one of the short ones, and the other 3 are short ones. So I was like on a roll. I was feeling it. So I'm gonna try and get at least one more done tonight.
And if I can like maintain that the rest of the week, then I won't have to do it this weekend. All right, Wednesday out. Today is Thursday, March 6th. I already changed it to Friday, so I got confused again. It's Thursday, March 6th. And I think today was a good day. I think today was a good day. I felt productive. I mean, like if I really go back and analyze it, yeah, I skipped a ton of stuff that like I had on my like plan, like in the dream world. I would have could done a ton more things, but it was good. Like what we did was good. It was a good day. It's also nice I don't have like any commitments tonight. Like there were no meetings after school today. I don't have to like race off anywhere. So I was able to like get some things done in here that I need to do. And we have a work day Monday. So that's also like a weight off my chest, but also I scheduled spring conferences. So it's a weight back on, but it's still like I'll take any like work day featuring conferences over like not having a work day at all. Like it'll still be super productive and nice, better than like anything I can get done just in the hour or so I stay after school. All right, let's see what was going on March 6th, 2013, day 38. Today was another good day. It seems like Wednesdays are like that lately. Jack went, math went well. We played war with jacks, queens, and kings, as well as ace through 10. Sure. I was we were comparing numbers. I was pleased with the lesson overall. Tomorrow we are distinguishing left and right, which I'm a little nervous about, but we'll see. We're singing the Hokey Pokey, so that will be fun. The most exciting part of today was my handwriting lesson. Whenever we don't have a letter for the week in reading like this week, I've been doing numbers with them. We did 1 to 30 about 5 times over the last few weeks, but today I gave them a real challenge, a blank 100s chart that they were to fill in 1 to 100. They are supposed to be able to do that by the end of kindergarten. I told them at the beginning that I did not expect them all to finish in the 20 minutes we had before switching with Miss Margie's class, and that we would have plenty of time to finish later. 10 of them did it in 20 minutes. I was ecstatic. The other 12 finished during centers later. All but 4 of them finished, and they went to 50, which was good enough for me. It was fascinating to see them fill in the numbers. I've tried to show them the patterns in a hundreds chart before, how all of the numbers in a row start with the same number, and all of the numbers in a column end in the same number. Oh, okay, gotcha. But it just didn't click until they were filling in the numbers themselves. By the time they got to the 40s, I saw a lot of their little light bulbs turn on, and they realized they didn't have to keep counting on every single time. They just followed the patterns. Some of them even started filling in their chart going down rather than across because they saw the pattern. I'm just blown away by how they figure things out. That is why I do love math, but in small groups or individually. I get to really watch them and talk with them about how they find their answers and how there are so many ways to get the same answer. That's the best part about doing drops in the bucket math with them during my small group rotations. I love drops in the bucket. Oh my gosh, I used to do that for fourth grade. I mean, it's like so old. Like I had to buy a really old like version of it and then just like photocopy it, which is like probably breaking copyright. But I love drops in the bucket. It's like spiral review. I have them do the problems individually and then compare to see if they did the same as or differently than everyone else. It really is so interesting to watch them compare answers and methods. I'm feeling good right now. Wednesdays are nice. This week's all downhill from here. 7 more school days until spring break. What? How many more school days do I have until spring break? I have tomorrow. Then, okay, we don't have to count Monday because of the teacher work day. So that's 4 next week. So that's 5. Then I have the whole week of the 17th. That's 10. Then the whole week of the 24th, that's 15. Okay, so I have 15 school days until spring break. 15 is more than 7. That's okay, because then it's less time left after spring break. Um, okay. Yeah, I feel good. I'm gonna ride this feeling. I didn't do my teacher of the year essay last night. I was tired. I was tired. I didn't do it. And now it's like, ugh. I mean, it's fine. Like I'm gonna get it done. I'm never, I've never missed a deadline like in my entire life. I'm gonna get it done.
I just need to like do it. So I really need to like tonight I'm like serious about it. I gotta get like because I saved the harder ones for last, which like I was feeling the momentum of the easier one. Sometimes starting with the easier one is like, okay, we get the ball rolling. But then last night the ball stopped and now I'm like, oh, now I gotta get it rolling again, but with the harder ones. But I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it tonight. Maybe I'll do two tonight. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what time I get the girls to bed. The earlier I get them to bed, the more likely it is I'll do two tonight. Bye. Today's Friday, March 7th. It's actually only 8:45 in the morning, so I don't know how the day's gonna go. I'm hoping if I speak it into existence, it's gonna be a good day, but it will. But it is pajama day, so that's fun. Uh yeah, I hope it's gonna be a good day, but I've got Science Olympiad after school, and then I kind of got to race out after that. So I'm like, I'll just do this now. Because I'm like getting stuff ready for Science Olympiad and trying to get my life together. Um, yeah, I hope it's gonna be a good day. I hope it's gonna be a good day. We have a tornado drill in like an hour, 45 minutes or something. So, you know, that's another example of one of those little things where it's like, oh, a tornado drill, like it only takes 10 minutes, but that's 10 minutes of something that doesn't get taught today. That's 10 minutes I'll never get back. And it's going to take more than 10 minutes with all the transition and the settling and the change in routine. But gotta do tornado drills. So just one of those things. All right, let's see what was going on 12 years ago. It is day 39. We're on a new page. Okay, here we go. Found it. Oh, it says, what a day, what a day, what a day. Okay, so this was a Thursday. Today felt really long, like really long. We had a fire drill this morning. Oh, I'm having a tornado drill, but still, which threw us off a little because it happened right when we were walking to PE. And so we had to go outside in the crazy wind. The kids were all squealing about how cold they were, and we missed about 10 minutes of PE because of it. Weird. A highlight of the morning was that I got to drive over to the pre-K center in town and observe another student teacher do an art lesson with her kids. Oh, that's right. Like part of our semester was we were supposed to like observe each other. And for most of us, we were in the same school. Like they partnered up, like someone came and watched me. I don't remember who it was. But we had one person who was student teaching pre-K, which was just a few minute drive away. But someone needed to go watch her because we were all supposed to watch someone and be watched by someone. So I did. And that was kind of fun. I got to leave school in the middle of the day and go drive. And I do remember this one was really cute. And she is still a teacher. They were adorable and they really liked it. I'm glad we get to go into one another's classrooms and see what goes on. Whoops. After lunch, Erin left for a half personal day, so it was Jenny and I in the classroom. I did the other half of my pre-assessment, a journal entry about what they would do if they were pirates, and it went fantastic. Their entries were adorable. I'm excited to see how they do on the rest of their entries. Math went well too, both morning and afternoon. Things were going great. And then it happened. I I know what this is. And I still think about this like to this day. This is burned. This is one of those things where like if I could go back, I would do it differently. Okay. Yesterday, Erin had a class meeting with all of the children to talk about the way they treat our library books. The rule now is that any child who sits, stands, throws, or otherwise mistreats a book will need to move his/her name on the discipline chart. Okay, discipline chart, like that's already one thing I would do differently, obviously, but like that was the system in the room. Like it wasn't my classroom. That was the thing. And today it happened. One girl who hardly ever gets into trouble was pushing a book around on the carpet, which Erin used as a specific example of what not to do with the books. Like she held a class meeting, I remember this, and said, like, if you put the books on the ground and push your body weight on them and push them across the floor, like that's gonna hurt the books.
So I talked with her about it and I asked her what we needed to do next. She said, move my name. And I said, yes, that's the rule for the class now. So that's the rule for her too. Disaster, crying, hyperventilating, crying, begging, crying. Oh my God. Like I remember her name. I remember everything about and it gets worse because the next day her mom came in like really mad about this. And I felt horrible. And it was one of those things where I was like, th this was given as a specific example of like, don't do this. And then she did it. So I was like, okay. And the specific consequence had also been laid out. And like moving their name down, it didn't really mean anything. I don't think. I don't know. That's why those behavior charts are probably not, that's why a lot of people don't use them anymore. But like, I was like, I I was like, okay, we said what we named the behavior. We it gave an example. We named the consequence. So like that's what we should do. And she just freaked out. And I'm like, I've only known these kids for 39 school days. Like there was probably if Erin had been there, she might not have done that. She may have known. But then it's so hard because it's like, oh, because someone's going to get really upset like they don't follow. I'm still conflicted. Like I think if something in my class, it was my class, I would have known like more what to do. I would have been able to explain. And I've done this before, like in, getting really frustrated, like, oh, they're breaking all the library books. I'm frustrated. They're like doing this. I'll make sweeping, like, if this happens ever again, like, blah, 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 like in the heat of the moment. I do it less now. I'm trying to get better at it. But I didn't want to I didn't want to let her get away. I didn't feel like it would have been fair to for her to push the book across the floor and everyone saw it and for me to like do nothing. But it was a disaster. It went on for about 30 minutes. I was trying to decide between teaching the class and helping her get control, and Jenny was trying to do both things at once, and it was rough, really rough. I wanted to cry too. I could not stop thinking about it on my way home from school today. I felt like such a terrible person. I hate it when they cry. I really do. I didn't want to make her cry, and I still think about it. Because the next day, I don't know if I'm going to write about it, but her mom came in pissed that she came home. Like she was still upset when she came home. Because this girl, I remember she was sobbing and she was really like, my mom's gonna be so mad at me. My mom's gonna be so mad at me. But her mom was mad at me. And she came in and I remember Erin was like, this is my student, like she's my student teacher. Like she didn't know, like kind of blamed me, which I'm like, I did do this. But I remember being conflicted then, like, and still not like, was I wrong? Was I wrong? I think part of it was born out of like the system was wrong with the moving the names down and stuff. It wasn't a great system. It was like fear-based, I guess. Like she was really worried she was getting in trouble at home, but I still don't know. Because I find it very frustrating when rules aren't applied fairly. Because I think there are certain kids who, will never let slide. People never let them slide. Like if they break a rule, that's it. And then there are others, and you kind of like, oh, well, they didn't mean to, or like they get a second chance. I don't like that. And I still don't know. I don't know. That's something over the last 12 years I've not, but I think about this. I just wish, like, honestly, I wish that I had just let it go because it was like so much more trouble than it was worth. And over what? The book wasn't broken, but I understood the principle. Like, the books were getting broken, and it was because kids were like pushing them across the floor. So I don't know. I don't know. That's the hardest part of teaching. Knowing how to teach and assess and all of that is one thing, but you also want to make them feel good about themselves, help them keep their spirits up. I do not think I did that today. I tried to calm her down and talk to her about how we all make mistakes and the important thing is that we learn from them. But Jenny still had to bust out the paper bag to stop the hyperventilating. I got it. So that was kind of an unsuccessful discussion. Oh well, tomorrow is a new day. It was horrible. And I'm sure like there was something deeper going on there. I wonder how she's doing. Because I mean, it was like
it was like a panic. It was like a panic attack. That's probably how I didn't characterize it like that then, but that's probably how I would characterize it now. I've had kids have panic, like similar responses to things before. But it was like it was one of those like a huge reaction to what I thought was a small problem, but to her it was not a small problem, and it just like boiled over. I wonder if she remembers it. I'm sure, like, I hope it's not a core memory of hers. Like, thinks back and how I like ruined her week. Whew, yeah, ugh. Well, my goal today will be to not make anyone have any panic attacks. I mean, it's good to remember, like, things that seem little to us are can be really important and big to them. And you gotta watch out. Gotta watch out for that. The more you know, I think the more you know them, the more you can like anticipate and maybe the moving of the name down, like maybe I could have still given the consequence with a different approach. Maybe there was a better way to have done it. I don't know. I don't know. Who put me in charge? I didn't know what I was doing. Whew, that was a rough day. Okay. I'm not gonna worry about that. It's over. This kid probably doesn't remember me. Hopefully her mom doesn't remember me. She hated me. All right, bye. Hello. Today is Monday, March 10th. It is a teacher work day. So I'm trying to get a lot of stuff done. I did go ahead and schedule my spring conferences because in the fall we have like a specific day that we're supposed to try and do them all, but in the spring it's sort of like if you want to. And really, it's like definitely optional. I bet most people are not offering spring conferences. I think it's like, if the parent reaches out to you, I feel strongly that like we should offer them. So a couple weeks ago, I sent like blasted out to the parents like, hey, the afternoon of March 10th is the work day. I'm gonna do shorter conferences in the spring, like 15 minutes, and I'm scheduling them like back to back to back to back to back. So really it's like 14 minutes because then I gotta switch to the next one. But just a quick, especially because like we're now, I don't know how many days of school we're at, like 100 something. There's probably like 60 school days left until the end of the year, which is not that many. And these kids are going to middle school. So I like to use the spring conferences to like check in academically. And there are some kids like on my list that I do want to talk about like right now, fifth grade stuff. But then also just like looking ahead to sixth grade, checking in on like academic habits, homework, like just general organizational skills, keeping track of things, like stuff that will help with their transition to middle school. So I've scheduled those this afternoon, and like as always, I'm nervous. I don't like conferences, but I know they're gonna go fine. They're gonna go fine. I like to have, I don't have there's over there somewhere, but like a printed out, like what I want to say about each kid, like important points I want to hit. And I like to give each family a specific, like, okay, with the rest of this year, because there's about 3 months left, like 3 calendar months. What is my goal, like, for your child, so that you know kind of like what I think is like the one or maybe two, like, really important things that we could like tighten up for the end of the year. So I'm doing that this afternoon. So this morning, I'm trying to like I need to make a new seating chart. And then I need to re-up my Google teacher certification, Google Level 1 educator. It goes for every 3 years. And last week they sent an email that was like, hey, just a reminder, your certification expires like sometime in May. I think they sent it out like a month in advance. And it costs $10 to redo it. And they're like, just a reminder. And so I was like, okay, like this email's in my inbox. I'll go ahead and like pay the $10 now, and then I'll do it over spring break. And then I paid the $10 and then they sent me the link and they're like, okay, and you have 8 days to do this, or like the link expires and you have to pay again. I was like, well, dang it. I should have waited. I forgot because it's every 3 years. So I didn't remember that from 3 years ago. So I need to do it today. So they say to set aside like a couple of hours. I think it takes me about an hour if I remember correctly. So I need to do that. Um, Yeah. So those are like the big things I need to get done today is that certification, change the seating charts, and then do all the conferences. Um, but yeah, I mean, work days are just like a relief. Like this weekend, I wasn't feeling like heightened stress because like I have time. I have time to print stuff. I have time to like, you know, move things around and think about things. And it means there's only a 4 day week. So it's like I have time to print stuff and there's only 4 days worth of stuff to print. Woo. All right, let's see what's going on 12 years ago. I mean, last time it was, what day is that? March 10th. Okay. On Wednesday, when I said the week is all downhill from here, I had no idea how right I was. Yesterday was madness, but it was nothing compared to the day. The mom of the girl who had a mini panic attack yesterday came in this morning really unhappy. I already spoke to this. Well, I'm interested to see what I said, but I still don't know how I feel about it, even like 12 years later. Let's see. I guess no one called her to explain the situation, and her daughter was really upset all night. What do I mean? I guess no one called her. If I didn't call her, then of course nobody called her. Oh, and that's one of those things where like I I of course I didn't call her. Like that never crossed my mind to call. It just wasn't like something I was really thinking about at that time, as a student teacher, like the connections with the parents. It that I like even if I'd thought about it, I never would have like picked up the phone and like called. Like, hi, I'm your kid's student teacher. She's not wrong. She's not wrong to be like, my kid's coming home really upset and like nobody's telling me what's going on. These days, I would, and I have. Like, if something happens right at the end of the day, which we have recess at the end of the day, so things often happen like at recess. I'll like let the parent know real quick, like, oh, like your kid, if they come home like feeling heightened emotions or upset about something, like this is what happened, this is what I'm doing about it. Or like if it was like right at the tail end of recess, say like I couldn't address it today, like because we were getting on the buses, but like I'm gonna do it first thing in the morning, like I'll let I've got a plan. Now, these days, it's much more common to have like texting contact with parents. Like we have a little app where we can send messages and get messages. Back then, I really would have had to make a phone call. So, and these days, if I couldn't, if the text thing, I would make a phone call because like now, since I've become a teacher, I think back to perhaps, I don't know. I mean, I would say like even 6 or 7 years ago, the app thing was not a thing. Like if a kid was upset or something, like I would send an email if it wasn't like an urgent thing, but I would also call. And I used to be terrified of calling parents. No, I don't care anymore. I felt like the worst person on the entire planet in that moment. I wanted to go cry in the corner like my kids do when they get in trouble. Yeah, I remember this. I don't think that I necessarily did anything wrong. In fact, I know I did the right thing and said all the right things to her when we were talking about it, but I still felt like I should have done something different. Oh, I don't know anymore. Can I honestly learn to teach? Hmm. Yeah, this is what's so tricky is like you're we're juggling all these things and then in the end like we're dealing with people, right? People and their feelings and the feelings of not only the kids but their parent, like their family's feelings and trying to balance everything. And we make 1,000 decisions every day and they're not always the right decisions. And then sometimes there are consequences to that. Sometimes the consequence is that we feel horrible. I don't know. It's a lot. Yeah, if I could talk to her 12 years ago, me, I would say like It doesn't get easier. I mean, it does get you get better at it. You get better at like knowing and understanding what to do about stuff like that. It doesn't get easier in that like these things still happen all the time. Like you sometimes you do everything right and it still goes wrong. Sometimes you make a mistake and something goes wrong. You make a bad call, you forget to do something. You just say the wrong thing, but you get better at knowing what to do and forgiving yourself. Like I can do what I can do. Like if a parent is upset with me because of something I did, I can like take it and understand, and I can reason with, okay, are they like right? Is this like something I need to notice and change? Or, are their emotions heightened because this is their kid, that's their baby, they care about them, and like, are they maybe being, are they like swinging too hard one way? And just like forgiving myself. This year, I can think of an example of I messed up. I didn't send home a piece of communication to a parent that I should have. I just didn't think about it. Like it was, I didn't get the communication. I didn't get the information until the evening. And so I read the information and I was like, okay, noted. And I didn't pass it on. It was something they needed to know before the next day. They were upset. I apologized and we're fine. So you get better. You get better at it and you get better at forgiving yourself. I didn't think he could get any more downhill than that, but boy, does life have fun little surprises for us. Oh no. Later, one child in our class threatened another child with physical harm, so that merited a trip to the principal and a discussion with the counselor and a calling of the parents. It was dramatic. And then the lockdown. Yes, it really happened. We went into lockdown. Lights off, door locked, curtains closed, kids in the corner with us around them, sitting silently. I've always been prepared for things like this mentally, and I wasn't scared or anything, but it was hard to sit there and not know what was happening. I'm sure the kids felt this too, but more so. We sat there for what felt like forever, but could not have been more than 20 minutes. I remember this. We peeked out the window, we could see the sheriff's department outside holding like rifles. I'm guessing it was one of those things where something happened in the area and they had to lock us down and they sent the sheriff just like to make sure. But I don't ever remember like finding out what it was. Again, I think these days we would find out a lot. Like we would figure it out. I know if this happened at my school now, the principal, as soon as lockdown was up, he would send a staff-wide email to like let everybody know, kind of like, and this has happened before. Like we went into lockdown and it's because like something was happening in the area, in the neighborhood or somewhere. And it was just like precaution. But I do remember this. Thankfully, all 26 children were in the classroom when we went into lockdown, so we didn't have to worry about where they were. The only scary moment was when the principal came to check on each class and she knocked on the door. We weren't expecting it and it was pretty loud, so I think all three of us, the teachers, jumped about a foot into the air. I guess we were all a little more nervous than we let on. After the lockdown was let up, we still had to keep our kids in the classroom. This meant they had to be escorted to the bathroom and we had to do a double knock on the door to be let back in. Luckily, since it was Friday, we were just doing fun Friday rotations, so the three of us could be in, out, and around the classroom as needed. Of course, today was the day I did the messiest craft with my group, so I had hands covered in paint and liquid starch running around the room. Then, liquid starch, I just brought back a memory. I used to use liquid starch so much because I worked in I guess that's why I worked, like an after school, like club, I guess. I don't know. Like there was like a neighborhood on campus and the kids could come join our like after school programs for free. We did a lot with liquid starch. I haven't touched or even thought about liquid starch in probably 15 years. Oh no, I guess that doesn't make sense because it's 12 years ago, but probably 11 years. I haven't thought about it in 11 years. Man, liquid starch. All right. Anyway, then when we finally finished our rotations and were ready to have snack, we were told that school would be dismissed at 2:55 instead of the usual 3:10, 3:15. So we were rushing, running, trying to get coats on and backpacks zipped and snacks eaten and tables cleaned and chairs stacked. I am exhausted just thinking about how absolutely ridiculous today was. I even got to leave at 3 o'clock because all the children were gone by then, but it still feels like the longest day of my 40 days so far. Oh yeah, babe, what a day. Was this a Friday? Okay, it was good. This day was banana sandwich, and I am thankful that it is over. I am thankful that all of the children are safe and that even though it was a drill, we could tell them that it was. Oh, even though that it wasn't a drill, we could tell them that it was because nothing happened to us. It's scary these days to sit there picturing what could happen. I wish I didn't have to seriously plan how to get kids out of the room and away if I need to. But I do, and I guess that is a good thing, just a sad one. Oh, same. I always have a plan. I'm on the second story now, so there's no going out the window. Well, there is. I mean, all bets are off. If we need to go out the window, we need to go out the window. But yeah, always have a plan. All right, boy. Yeah, Megan 12 years ago did not have a great day. I'm having a much better day today. And I hope that this week is a good week. It's only 4 days. Friday, we have our puberty lesson. We have our group coming in to talk about puberty. And like they mostly talk about like the emotional and social changes that come with it. Like as you get older, um, your emotions change, like the way that you interact with your peers versus the way you interact with your family is different. Sometimes when people get older, people they've been friends with for a long time, you guys kind of grow apart. You start to like figure out who you are. They talk about all that. They talk about like physical changes, like you might, that people will start noticing. And I love this group because they really highlight that most of the changes that happen to you when you hit puberty are like the same for male and female bodies, like everybody starts to get acne, everybody starts to kind of smell, everybody, um, like our bodies change, whether it's our shoulders widening or our hips widening, like everyone's got some sort of like, but then at the end they do show some diagrams, and that's when the kids always lose their gosh darn minds. But it's good. It's good. And it is a like we have to teach it. And so we have a grant, we get a grant to have like these professionals come in and do it because like I just said it all. Like I can say it all, but they're like, this is what they do all day. They're so good at it. So that's on Friday. Kids can opt out or parents can opt their kids out, but I haven't got any opt-outs yet. So we'll see as we get closer to Friday. Sometimes they trickle in, but uh, yeah, so that's where the week is headed. So, um, that's good. And that also takes up a chunk of Friday. So it's like one less thing I got to plan for. That'll be science on Friday. So I can just um, sit back and manage the room. All right. I gotta stop procrastinating and do my freaking Google thing. So see you tomorrow.